It's eliminated lifetime limits on benefits that often put people in a jam. So we are incredibly proud of that work. But the reason we're here today is because President Biden, Vice President Harris, everybody who's worked on this thing understood from the start that the ACA wasn't perfect. To get the bill passed, we had to make compromises. We didn't get everything we wanted. That wasn't a reason not to do it. If you can get millions of people health coverage and better protection, it is, to quote a famous American, a pretty big deal. That's what it is. But there were gaps to be filled. Even today, some patients still pay too much for their prescriptions. Some poor Americans are still falling through the cracks. In some cases, healthcare subsidies aren't where we want them to be, which means that some working families are still having trouble paying for their coverage. Here's the thing, that's not unusual when we make major progress in this country. The original Social Security Act left out entire categories of people, like domestic workers and farm workers. That had to be changed. In the beginning, Medicare didn't provide all the benefits that it does today. That had to be changed. Throughout history, what you see is that it's important to get something started, to plant a flag, to lay a foundation for further progress. The analogy I've used about the ACA before is that in the same way that was true for early forms of Social Security and Medicare, it was a starter home. It secured the principle of universal health care, provided help immediately to families, but it required us to continually build on it and make it better. And President Biden understands that, and that's what he's done since the day he took office. As part of the American Rescue Plan, he lowered the cost of health care even further for millions of people. He made signing up easier. He made outreach to those who didn't know they could get covered, make sure that they knew, made that a priority. And as a result of these actions, he helped a record 14.5 million Americans get covered during the most recent enrollment period. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what happens when you have an administration that's committed to making a program work. And today, the Biden-Harris administration is going even further by moving to fix a glitch in the regulations that will lower premiums for nearly 1 million people who need it and allow 200,000 more uninsured Americans to get access to coverage. I'm a private citizen now, but I still take more than a passing interest in the course of our democracy. But I'm outside the arena, and I know how discouraged people can get with Washington. Democrats, Republicans, Independents. Everybody feels frustrated sometimes about what takes place in this town. Progress feels way too slow sometimes. Victories are often incomplete. And in a country as big and as diverse as ours, consensus never comes easily. But what the Affordable Care Act shows is that you are driven by the core idea that together we can improve the lives of this generation and the next. And if you're persistent, if you stay with it, and are willing to work through the obstacles and the criticism and continually improve where you fall short, you can make America better. You can have an impact on millions of lives. You can help make sure folks don't have to lose their homes when they get sick, that they don't have to worry whether a loved one is going to get the treatment they need. President Joe Biden understands that. He has dedicated his life to the proposition that there's something worthy about public service and that the reason to run for office is for days like today. So I could not be more honored to be here with him as he writes the next chapter in our story of progress. I'm grateful for all the people who've been involved in continuing to make the ASA everything it can be, and it is now my great privilege to introduce the 46th President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please. Please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please. My name is Joe Biden. I'm Barack Obama's Vice President. And I'm Jill Biden's husband. By the way, the only reason Jill's not here today, she's working. She's teaching. And so I just want you to know that's why she's not here. Good afternoon, everyone. Mr. President, welcome back to the White House, man. Feels like the good old days. Being here with you brings back so many good memories. We just had lunch together, and we weren't sure who was supposed to sit where. Look, it's fitting that the first time you return to the White House is to celebrate a law that's transforming millions of lives because of you. And I say because of you. We had a lot of help, the staff, and I helped a little bit, but it's because of you. A law that shows hope leads to change. And you did that. You did it. Let's be honest. The Affordable Care Act has been called a lot of things, but Obamacare is the most fitting. Obamacare. True. I can tell you all how much Barack Obama cared about getting this done. Throughout the countless hours of negotiations and the relentless political attacks, he never, ever, ever gave up. And I guarantee you that. If I had time, I could tell you all the times when he'd say, should we compromise, should we do? And I'd say, well, we ought to think about it. No, if I do that, then so-and-so won't get covered. This group of people won't get covered. And whether it was after meeting during our weekly lunch, and we met every single day, he'd remind me why we're doing this in the first place. We're doing this in the first place for people who needed it and deserve to be treated with dignity. Dignity. The idea that when you can't afford health insurance for your children, for your spouse, male or female, it doesn't matter. Not only are they in trouble, but you're deprived of your dignity. Barack, you talked about the idea that it was important that we make sure that you couldn't outrun your insurance. I can remember there with Bo, thinking to myself, what would I do if they walked in and said, you've outrun your time here? And there were still 35 days to live. The things that change people's lives. We both understood the Affordable Care Act wasn't about a single president or the presidency. It was about the countless Americans lying in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering, my God, what if I get really sick? What am I going to do? What am my family going to do? Will I lose the house? Discussions we had in my house with my dad when he lost his health insurance. Who's going to pay for it? Who's going to take care of my family? You know, in America, Healthcare, as we've all three said, will have now said, healthcare should be a right, not a privilege. And with the help of members of Congress, especially Nancy, and the advocates for families who are here today, 12 years ago, last month, 12 years ago, we made a good effort toward that proposition, and it should be a right. And Barack, when you signed the Affordable Care Act into law, it became the most consequential piece of health insurance, most consequential piece of legislation, in my view, since the creation of Medicare and Medicaid in 1965. It made a difference in people's lives every day. You just talked about where we were before the Affordable Care Act and what happened in the past 12 years to make life a lot better for people. Well, I'd like to talk about where we go from here, because we knew back then, as the President said, we knew that we had to keep strengthening this legislation. Look, that's why I ran for president, and I promised to protect and build upon the Affordable Care Act. As soon as I entered office, that's exactly what Kamala and I did, and what our administration and the Democrats in Congress here today did. We passed the landmark American Rescue Plan, which not only helped us in COVID-19 get it under control and our economy back on track, it got millions more people insured under the Affordable Care Act. It made it easier for people to sign up for coverage in the middle of a pandemic. It opened to special enrollment people and gave millions and millions of Americans more time to enroll. It quadrupled the number of navigators out there in the communities, helping people to sign up for coverage because it's confusing to people. It's confusing. The President's heard me say when we work together, you know, they'd say, well, Biden and Obama are doing great on foreign policy. You want to do something difficult, try health care. Not a joke. Not a joke. So we continue to expand Medicaid. Missouri and Oklahoma became the 37 and 38 states to expand Medicaid under the Affordable Care Act. And as been mentioned, over 31 million people now have health insurance through the Affordable Care Act. 4 out of 5 Americans can find quality coverage for under $10 a month. The average family is saving $2,400 a year on their premiums. That's $200 every single month, available for other needs in their lives, from gas to groceries to other basic necessities. The bottom line is this: the Affordable Care Act is stronger now than it has ever been. And today, now I'm not even talking about what your former chief of staff is doing to make sure health care is available to all our veterans in the way he did. Yeah. Today, we're strengthening it even further. In a moment, I'm going to sign an executive order building on one of those that I signed last year. It directs federal agencies to continue doing everything in their power to expand quality and affordable health care coverage, making it easier for people to enroll in and keep their coverage, helping people better understand their coverage options, and to be able to pick the best option for that family, taking steps to strengthen benefits, lower costs, and expand eligibility, protecting Americans from low-quality coverage that can lead to a mountain of medical debt. And folks, and separately, it's time to fix what we refer to as the family glitch. Now, the family glitch, everybody in this room probably knows what it is. But it's a common issue facing 5 million Americans who can't get financial help to get coverage under the Affordable Care Act. And here's the problem. Under the current rules, a working mom is told, as long as she can afford employer-based coverage for herself, she can't qualify for premium subsidies to afford coverage for her family. Cover her, but not her family. We're working to change that. Once today's proposed rule is finalized, starting next year, working families in America will get the help they need to afford full family coverage. Everyone in the family. As a result, families will be saving hundreds of dollars a month. With this change, it's estimated that 200,000 presently uninsured Americans are going to gain coverage. Nearly 1 million Americans will see their coverage become more affordable. This is considered one of the biggest things my administration can do, lower cost and expand coverage. And we're taking steps today to get that done. So look, folks, but we need to keep up the fight. Our Republican colleagues, as they say in Southern Delaware, they haven't changed a whole hell of a lot. Good folks, but haven't changed a lot. They continue to attack the Affordable Care Act. They're unrelenting. Unrelenting. They haven't stopped, Mr. President, since you signed the law. They haven't stopped for 1 second. Multiple court challenges you mentioned, sabotage from the previous administration. Over 70 attempts to repeal the law by Republicans in Congress. In fact, just last month, the distinguished senator from Wisconsin said, if Republicans get back in power, they should try to repeal the Affordable Care Act. Again try. Today, 12 years later, Republicans have not stopped their attacks on this life-saving law. So pay very close attention, folks. If Republicans have their way, it means 100 million Americans with pre-existing conditions can once again be denied health care coverage by their insurance companies. That's what the law was before Obamacare. In addition, tens of millions of Americans could lose their coverage, including young people who will no longer be able to stay on their parents' insurance policy at age 26. Premiums are going to go through the roof. Well, I got a better idea. Instead of destroying the Affordable Care Act, let's keep building on it. Let's extend it. Extend. And because of all the folks in this room, members of Congress, the American Rescue Plan subsidizes that are lowering premiums, subsidies are lowering premiums and extending coverage. And I got a little practice when you gave me that other act, when we were president. You were president, I was with you. Look, close the Medicaid coverage gap that locks nearly 4 million Americans out of coverage just because their states refuse to expand Medicaid. Lower prescription drug costs, which is mentioned already, by allowing Medicare to negotiate prices for drugs that are on the market. We can do this. We should do this. We have to do this. But let me close with this. 12 years ago, at a bill signing the Affordable Care Act, President Obama said, quote, "We're a nation that does what is hard, what is necessary, and what is right." That's exactly what he did. Exactly what he did. And folks, that's what we have to do. That's what we do as Americans. You know, it's what all of you did here in making the Affordable Care Act possible. I really mean it. We just got to keep it going and keep building on it. We need to keep the faith. We need to remember, we're the United States of America, and there is simply, literally, nothing beyond our capacity when we're united and do it together. So God bless you all. May God protect our troops. And now, I'm going to sign an executive order. And Barack, let me remind you, it's a hot mic. I have to admit, one thing I haven't gotten down. Barack Obama could sign his name using 9 different pens. I'm going to use one. There you go. We even have outer space here.
I can't see. I'll see you guys in there. Look at that, that's all Nicky. Look at that baby guy. Look at that man. He's a